everyone, welcome back to art class. Today we are going to be making a snakes in the grass weaving project. So all that you need are 2 pieces of paper, something to color with, scissors, and a black marker and some glue. So go ahead, grab what you need and we'll get started. There will be 2 parts of this project. The first thing that we're gonna work on together is the grass. We're gonna color it together and then I'm gonna show you how to cut it to prepare weaving the second part of our project, which are the snakes. I'll show you how to weave those through your grass together. We're gonna start out with the grass. You'll just need 1 piece of paper for that. You wanna start by placing your paper vertically on your table. That means up and down like this. That's important because that's gonna be our grass, and our grass needs to be tall, taller than our snakes. First, what you'll do is with whatever materials that you have at home, you're gonna color your grass green like this. Then I'm gonna show you how to cut your paper. To cut our paper to prepare for weaving, it's really simple to do. We want to cut our paper to look like the grass. And here's the back of this project. This might be hard to see since it's all white, but you can see that my snakes are gonna go in between my blades of grass. So all you have to do is you're gonna take your paper that you painted green or colored green, whatever you had, and you're gonna flip it over. Okay, make sure it's still facing vertically. You can take a pencil. I'm gonna use a marker so you can see it a little better. You're gonna take a pencil and you're gonna prepare your lines so that way you know where to cut. The first line that we're gonna draw is gonna show us where we need to stop our scissors when we cut. And that should be about the size of your hand, spread out. So I'm gonna draw a line straight across that fits my hand. And this is gonna be the stop line. Do not cut past this line, okay? Now we're gonna draw where we're gonna cut for our blades of grass. So I'm gonna draw some lines that aren't too skinny going all the way up to the top of my paper. Don't worry about them being perfect because even grass isn't perfectly straight. If you like to use a ruler and you know how, or if you have someone at home that can help you, you can, but don't feel like that you have to use a ruler. So I'm gonna keep drawing those lines up, up, up. I'm gonna try to keep them about the same size until I get all the way to the end of my paper. Now you're gonna take your scissors, and with your scissors, you are going to take your paper and you are going to cut along those lines. But remember, this line at the bottom is our stop line. So we do not want to cut past our stop line, because that is where we have to stop cutting. So I will take my scissors and I will begin cutting along my line. Don't worry about following it too perfectly. This is just a guide to help you with your grass. So you can take this time to begin cutting up your blades of grass. And I'll show you how to make your grass look a little bit more spiky at the top, like normal grass. All right, friends, now we have your grass all cut in all these fun little fringes, but we want to make it look a little bit more like grass with the spiky tops like this. So it's very easy to do. All you do, 1 blade of grass at a time, just 1 at a time. You'll take your scissors and you're gonna pick a point that you want the end of your spike to be, probably right here, and you're gonna cut towards the top, almost in a triangle shape, like this. Then, I like to flip my paper over to help me with this. I will then take the same one, I'm gonna start at the tippy top of that piece of grass, and I will trim all the way back down to make a little triangle shape. I know some of you are very good with your scissors, so I know you'll do great with this. So now that you've made the spikiness of your grass, you can put that aside and wait until we have our next part done. So say bye-bye to the spiky grass, so we'll be back later. And now you're gonna need your next piece of paper, and you're gonna wanna put it down horizontally. Remember, that means long ways. This is important because we're gonna draw our snakes, and our snakes are gonna have to be long for our grass. Now, your snakes, I want them to be so creative. Use all of the creative bones in your bodies to make your snakes fabulous. However, they should stay relatively straight. What I mean by that is you can't have a swirly curly snake, or else you're not gonna be able to weave it. So they can have a little bit of bend to them to show how they slither, but they shouldn't be super curly, or else you're not gonna be able to weave with them. I'm going to start with a marker. You can start with a pencil, so that way you can erase any mistakes that you don't want, but I'll start with a marker so that you can see on my video a bit better. So what I'll do is I'm going to start to show you how to draw a snake tongue sticking out. If you don't want to make a tongue, you don't have to, but here's just one way you can do it. I started at the very end of my paper. Okay, you want to start so it almost touches the side. I made a little V, kind of like that. And then I have two lines that follow that V, and then two straight lines that are going to connect to the head, like that. Then I will start by drawing the head of my snake. All I have to do is first I'm gonna make a C shape connecting to the tongue, like that. And I'm gonna close it a little bit more for the head of my snake. You can draw a little eyeball while you're there, any kind of eyeball that you want. Then the body of my snake has to connect all the way to the other side of my paper, or else my snake might be too short to weave. So make sure the end of your snake reaches the end of your paper. So I'm gonna start with my little snake body, and I'm going to maybe give it a little bit of wave, but not too much, like this. And I'm gonna curve it off at the end there. And then I'll start over here again with some wave for my snake. Make sure that your snake is not too skinny, or else it might be a little bit tricky to weave, okay? And that there is my snake. I want you to make at least 3 snakes. Let me say it again. 3 snakes. You're gonna need 3 to weave with. If you want to make more than 3, you can. I think you can make up to 6 that can fit in your grass. So that is up to you. You're gonna color and design your snakes any way that you want. And then whenever you're done, you will cut them out. So here are some snakes that I already had ready for you. Voila! That are colored and designed and the way that I envisioned I wanted my snakes to be. So go ahead, take a minute to color those snakes of yours and then cut them out. Now that you have all of your snakes cut out, it's time for the fun part, and that is weaving and watching them slither through the grass. So weaving, what we'll do is you're gonna have your snake go under a blade of grass, then over a blade of grass, then under, then over and under and over until you reach the very end of your grass. So this is what I mean by that. I'll take the snake that I want to be on the bottom, and I'm gonna start by going under the grass. So my snake is gonna go behind this blade of grass. I'm just picking it up a little bit. My snake's going behind it. Now I'm on to my second piece of grass, and the snake is gonna go over that piece of grass. So I'm gonna push him over that one. Now that I'm on to my third piece of grass, he's gonna go under the grass. So we're going under the grass, I'm lifting it, and my snake is going behind it. I'm pushing him through like that. Now that we're on to the fourth, are you sensing a pattern? We're gonna go over the piece of grass, then under that grass, then over the grass, then under the grass, then over the grass. Whoop. He wanted to go behind, but he has to go over. Come on, Mr. Snake. Just like that. And there you go. You have your very first snake weaved through your grass. Now we have to move on to your next one. Now here's something very important when you move on to your next snake. Whenever you start weaving, you need to start doing the opposite of what you started doing before. So you can see that my snake on my first blade of grass started by going under the grass. So that means this time my snake needs to start by going over the grass. So your snake will do the opposite of what your first snake did. So let's look at that together. This one started by going under the grass. So mine will start by going over the grass. So my first blade, he will go over, which means my second one will go under the grass, like this. Then my third, since I just went under, I'm going over. And you can see that the snake before mine is under the grass, which means that my next snake goes over. You'll repeat the pattern again and again. So let's continue. I'm going over right here, like I just did. Now, I'm going under the grass, like this. Then I'm going over my next blade of grass. Then I'm going under the grass. There we go, snake. Then over, and then we're ending with under, like that. So when you look back at your weaving, you'll see that the snakes are in different places. Wherever the first snake is over, your second snake is under. And that's what creates a weaving, that over-under pattern. So whenever you get to your very last snake, remember, you start with the opposite of what your last snake was. So if this one started over, then I should start by going under, right? So I'll lift up that blade of grass so that my snake can go under the grass, and then over, under, over, under. Just keep saying that to yourself because that will help you too. Over, under, and over. And then I have all of my snakes weaved through the grass. Good job. The last thing that you have to do is you can decide where you want your snakes to be. They kind of wiggle around. And if you don't want to glue them down into place, you don't have to. But if you want your snakes to stay still, then you'll take your glue and you'll just dot a piece of glue to help your snake stay down and in place. So you can do it by the heads and you can do it by the tails. Okay? And there you have it. We have some fun, colorful snakes weaving through the grass. I hope you had fun learning how to weave, and we'll be doing it again in the future with other materials.